Good evening, church. I wanted to take a few moments with you tonight and share a devotional thought for all of us to ponder on. Over the course of the past few weeks, I'm sure that all the events leading up to the resurrection of Jesus have all been heavy on our minds, and perhaps you've even engaged in conversation over some of them. We think of Palm Sunday, with Christ's triumphal entry into Jerusalem, the entire upper room with the announcement of betrayal over Judas, the garden where Christ was taken as a prisoner, and the events that took place there, the sentence passed down to Christ, crucifixion, and all of the devastating events that took place leading up to the resurrection, the promise of a risen Savior. But my question for you is this: is that where the story ends? You see, Matthew and Mark end the story shortly after the resurrection. However, Luke and John don't. Luke and John provide details about what Jesus did from the time of the resurrection till his ascent into heaven. And I want to share a few of those things that Jesus was doing during the week after resurrection. You see, Luke and John both describe the post-resurrection appearances of Jesus in detail. And one of the most famous appearances would have been his appearance before doubting Thomas, along with the other disciples, and it's one of the appearances which contains quite a few little details, such as Jesus appearing while the disciples were together, with the doors locked for fear of the Jewish leaders, communicating the terror and bewilderment that must have plagued the disciples in the aftermath of Jesus' crucifixion. Let me ask you this. If you had been one of Jesus' disciples, what might have you done in this situation? I want you to think about this. You're stunned by the death of your teacher, fearing for your own life at this point, and quite possibly wondering if everything you believed was really even true. An example of the calming reassurance of Jesus to his disciples is seen here, though. In John 20, the latter part of verse 26 through 28, we see the account of Thomas. Listen to this. Jesus came, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst and said, "Peace to you." Then said to Thomas, "Reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing." And Thomas answered and said to him, "My Lord and my God." Let me give you another encounter of Jesus here. This one from Luke, on the road to Emmaus. With confused rumors of the empty tomb still spreading, Jesus appears in disguise to two of his followers. And after visiting with and teaching them, Jesus reveals himself in a beautifully described scene. Listen as I read the words from Luke 24, verses 30 to 32. Now it came to pass, as he sat at the table with them, that he took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they knew him. And he vanished from their sight. And they said to one another, "Did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us on the road, and while he opened the scriptures to us?" John provides us with a few more memorable stories. For instance, in the Gospel of John is where the last recorded miracle happens, with a huge fish catch for the disciples. Or how about Peter's reinstatement? Jesus told Peter that he would deny him 3 times. And after Peter denied Jesus 3 times, as Jesus said he would do, John 21:17 teaches us this. Listen. He said to him the 3rd time, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me?" Peter was grieved because he said to him for the third time, "Do you love me?" And he said to him, "Lord, you know all things. You know that I love you." Jesus said, "Feed my sheep." So today, my thought is this. Don't just stop reading at the resurrection of Jesus today. Make it a personal goal and read the rest of the story. I wanted to give you just a really quick announcement. Please remember that Wayne Lee's services are going to be at the church on Saturday. It will start at 10 a.m. and we will have the luncheon for the family and friends afterwards. We will need dishes brought in for this event, and we'll need volunteers to work in the kitchen, and we'll also need a setup crew, a tear-down crew, because we'll have to transform the gymnasium after this is over back for Sunday morning with all the chairs. So if we could get some help, we'd sure please. We would appreciate it. Listen, I hope you have a great night and a great rest of your week. We're praying for you, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video.